everyone, this is Kelsey here with TRK Creative. Thanks again for joining me. Today we are going to talk about some essential ways that you can optimize your Google My Business listing. So let's go ahead and dive in and get right started. If you haven't set up a Google My Business account, I highly recommend it. It really is the essential way to get your digital footprint on Google search and on other search engines. So to get started, you can go ahead and navigate over to google.com/business. Click the sign in button and then go ahead and log in with your Google. And it takes about 5 steps to set it up, but it's really easy and it's free. Once you get into your Google My Business dashboard, this is what it's going to display. There are a lot of essential things that we can manage and maintain inside of Google, and I'm going to go ahead and go through them one by one. The first one I'm going to start with is the Info tab. This is probably the most important aspect of the business data that's inside of Google My Business, and I highly recommend optimizing this as your business changes and evolves. Inside of here, you can edit everything from your name, what type of agency you are, what you're representing, what type of services do you sell, address, service areas, location hours, website, phone number, Google Ad extension numbers, services, attributions about the business, and then a little description about yourself. I recommend making sure that all of these fields are filled out as much as you possibly can. And one thing also that I'm going to talk about today is at TRK Creative, we help all of our businesses optimize their Google My Business listing. And part of that is that we use UTM tagging inside all of the links inside of Google My Business so that we know exactly where the clicks are coming from. For an example, this is Lady Grace Catamaran out of Turks and Caicos, and we're tagging this listing so that we know when someone navigates over to the search engine side of Lady Grace Catamaran, clicks on website, then we know exactly where that click is coming from. So if you want to learn more about UTM tagging, Google has a really great article on it, and there's also a lot of resources. They also have a specific page that you can go to build your own UTMs. So check that out in the links below. The next thing I'm going to get into is the Photos tab. So photos have really become this thing that really are helping your SEO strategy, especially inside of GMB. So come in here and make sure that you have your cover photo selected, your logo selected, and that we're really optimizing high quality images to represent our brand and what services that we're representing. You can see up here, there's also this navigation bar, so you can come in here and see specific things. There's also video options, at work team. Make sure you're adding images that can really reflect questions that customers may ask so that we can really give them a broader picture of what to expect. All right, now this is one of my forte items, I would say, about Google My Business. And personally, I have been an advocate of this since day one. If you've known me in the past or if you know me in the future, one of the things I'll always tell you is make sure you post to your Google My Business because it really shows up all over the place. And we need to treat it like a social channel. So if we hover over to the post option, you'll see here, posted 11 hours ago, that Lady Grace is posting images to their GMB. Now, if we go back to search and come in here, you'll also see that those posts are also showing up in Google search as well. This is really one of the most essential things that can really help fill up your online real estate, right? When we look at this search engine, we search directly by brand, you'll see an ad pop up, you'll see the GMB, you'll see the reviews, you'll see our products, you'll see the search performance options inside of here, website ranking, and other options in here. And then of course you have reviews, updates coming in, and images as well that are starting to display. So we're really taking the whole full page of this real estate for Lady Grace, and posting on Google My Business is one of those core things that are really essential to GMB and can really help you and help grow your digital footprint. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and navigate over to a different client that we have to show you guys some cool new features that Google has just released. One of them is going to be the messaging feature inside of GMB. So before you used to be able to set up SMS, text people back and forth through your provider. There were a couple different options. Now what's happening is you can actually use a third-party vendor or do messaging directly inside of Google. So you'll see here there's a messaging tab on the left-hand side, and on your overview tab you do have the new messaging option as well. There's ways to set up in the Google app notifications to come to you, and there's also desktop notifications as well if you'd like to set that up. The other option that's pretty new that's coming in is this new call feature. So you can actually turn on calls coming in directly from the GMB and track it, and you also have parameters. So depending on when you turn it on or off, since it is a new feature, we will start being able to get a 6-month down drillable date on trackable calls, which is awesome. All right, so I'm gonna hover back over to Lady Grace and we're gonna talk about reviews, right? Reviews. One of the most essential things for a business and one of the most essential things for Google My Business as well. If you're a business owner, you know that people rely on reviews to see what type of business you are, to get the full picture story, to see how people are experiencing their interactions with you. And Google is the place to get reviews. No, not Facebook, not Yelp, not any other platform. Google really is the core place to go get reviews. Now, inside of Google My Business, you'll see that Lady Grace has reviews coming in. It's a relatively new business, but you'll see the most essential thing that I want to point out here is a response, right? We're really finalizing this full customer journey by responding to their review. They took the time to go out of the way to write something valuable that really meant something to them, and we really want to make sure that we close that out with a thank you. Okay, so some really cool stuff with the Services tab has been coming out with Google recently. You may navigate to your Google My Business listing and see something like this that says, this location has updated information from Google users. Well, Google is all about making their user experience better, right? They want people to be able to tell us if the data is right or not. So if you do see this, you will be able to accept all for a location, or you can go into each segment and really see where the data they're looking to change or update is actually coming from. You can hit the accept all option here, or you can hover down and go into each section and see where the changes are coming from directly in each section. So for this location, I'm gonna go ahead and use a different location, Verde Adventures. They're in Arizona. We're gonna go ahead and hover over to their Services tab because they have a lot of products and services that are really helping Google understand what they do as a business. And I think is a really essential way for you to help optimize your GMB listing. So inside of here, you'll see the primary category that we're listed as is a kayak rental service, which they do. They float down the river. If you ever get a chance to check them out, they're great. But what you've noticed is we went ahead and added in the actual tour options to populate here so people kind of get an idea of what to expect from a service level. We also have some other options, rafting, right, sightseeing. We can add in things that are really relevant to the business to help optimize the GMB. Another thing that kind of goes into this Services tab that I like to kind of play with is the Q&A option inside of the search. A lot of people don't realize that if you hover over to the search option of your listing, you'll have a questions option, right? It's really helpful to come in here and actually answer some questions that you may be getting on a regular basis. You can also use the UTM option to tag it as well and answer your own questions. But this is a really great way to kind of help give back to your customers and help them better understand what your product is. And Google loves this. So it's a great way to optimize your GMB. So we provide all of our clients monthly reporting, and part of that comes from Google My Business because it is part of their organic strategy. So if you hover over to the Insights option, what you'll see is there's a new profile performance coming, and it is definitely my new best friend. If you click on this, you're actually going to have now a drillable date option, which is very new and very awesome for GMB, to go back and kind of see your overall performance from a month-to-month perspective. You can also drill it down now from calls, messages, bookings, directions, and website clicks. But then also down here, they kind of have this snapshot perspective of who's viewed your business profile and what people are searching for directly to get your GMB to come up. So this is definitely a really great way to optimize your GMB by paying close attention to keywords and really looking at strategies that can help grow these search queries. If you want to look at the old Insights tab, the option is still available. You can come down here, see all the original graphs. Again, this is the same data that was listed above, just in a little different perspective. But I highly recommend coming to this Insight options at least once a month so that you can look and gauge month over month to see how your organic listing is doing. All right, the last thing that we're going to go over today is the products option inside of Google My Business. Now, Products is, I think, going to become this pretty new thing for the future in Google. And so I think getting on any type of headway with Google is going to be in your favor. So going to the products tab and making sure that they are optimized to match what is on your website. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Optimize your products to match what's on your website. You can go ahead and add products. You can UTM tag your products. You can add prices, products descriptions, offers. Everything inside of here is amazing for Google. And again, as I showed you guys earlier, it also displays inside a Google search on your brand search inside of products. And it is a great way for you to optimize your Google My Business listing. So if you have any questions, my name is Kelsey, TRK Creative. Thanks again for joining me today. And feel free to go ahead and comment any questions below. Click the subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon again. Thanks.